Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to give you my top 5 recommendations for Halloweeny movies, I guess. So some of these are horror, some of these aren't as much, and I might talk a little bit about some movies that didn't quite make it to my top 5, but what do you call? I put these in order sort of like as to how I felt I would need to recommend them. So like you'll see as I get into it, so let's just get into it so you can see what I mean. So, first up at, like, sort of 5, I guess, we have Beetlejuice, so I'm gonna bring this in close to the camera in case I forget to do a close-up. So, Beetlejuice, I feel like everybody has seen Beetlejuice. I know a lot of parents watch my channel, so I'm gonna make sort of some recommendations and some comments about what sort of like age people should be to watch these, and I might have to give away some spoilers as to like the contents of this movie or of all the movies I have in order to be able to properly do that. So with Beetlejuice, well, with all of these really, I think you have a certain like handling of like they all sort of handle like death and whatnot. Beetlejuice a little more than the others. It explores the afterlife, or specifically I guess Tim Burton's take on the afterlife. And there is so like Beetlejuice, the main dead guy, not the main guy because I think, or not really the main character I guess, because I think Lydia is more of the main character, but it's sort of debatable. Anyway, Beetlejuice makes a lot of like inappropriate jokes and whatnot, so you may want to be aware of that if you plan on showing these if you plan on showing this to a younger audience, because it's not completely appropriate, and but it's a really fun movie. It's really good, and I think anyone who's like 13 or older should be perfectly fine. I'm 15 and I love this movie so much, but it's really cool. Just watch it, please. It's such a good movie. So, next up, I have The Innocence. So I'm going to show you this up close. This is more, you can see my reflection in the thing, it's funny. But anyway, so this is a really good movie. This is like more of a true horror movie. So this lady, she gets sent to this, place to watch after some kids, and she thinks or finds out that there's like some ghost stuff going on and they may be possessed, and it's just a lot of fun. This is a really, well, I say it's a lot of fun, but it's a really scary movie. It is all black and white. It is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful movie. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a really beautiful black and white movie. This is like the most beautiful black and white movie I've ever seen, and I just loved it so much. And I haven't seen a whole lot of movies, but I haven't seen anything else like it. It's so beautiful. I really would recommend watching it. It's really creepy though. It's so creepy, and it sort of references some more adult themes at one point when they're talking about the ghosts that may have possessed the children. So be aware of that. Just once again, just be aware of the content that's in some of these movies. But other than that, even including that, it's just such a good movie. It's so beautiful, and I would highly recommend it. So, like I said, I've been choosing a lot of things that some are horror, some aren't, like, whatever. It's just meant to be Halloweeny. So, anyway, this one is Fright Night. So, I'm gonna hold it close to the camera, but I might do a close-up. So Fright Night is basically this boy, he finds out that a vampire lives next door, and he investigates, and it starts out, it's the tone of this movie is so weird. So my dad remembered it as being like really silly and really fun. It was really scary, to be honest. Like, it was really horrifying. And remember when I said I would have to give away some spoilers to give away some, to tell you, like, warn you of some of the content? So that's coming up in a bit. What do you call the, like, sort of goofy side character? His name is Evil Ed. They kill him off, and it is so brutal. I was like, whoa, my voice is just breaking thinking about it. It was so sad. I like cried so hard, But and I don't cry a lot. But yeah, but other than that, it is a really goofy story about like these kids. They find out there's a vampire, and for a while his friends don't believe him. They hire this like guy who's like a fake vampire hunter to like pretend to hunt him, to like, you know, make him less scared. And it's so crazy, but it's really silly, but there are some very serious moments, like you know, and there's some like more adult content besides just violence, where like the vampire thinks the one girl like is his long lost lover, and that scene was very uncomfortable to watch, very uncomfortable. But like I said, like most people who've seen this movie for some reason remember it as being like just really silly and a good time, and like to a point, yeah, it's really silly, it's really fun, but there is some very serious content in this that you should definitely be aware of if you intend to show this to children. And I'm probably talking about this way longer than I should, so let's move on. So I should mention where I am. This is my fourth movie, so my number one is coming up after this. This is a collection that I have here, but we're gonna focus on the top movie because that's the only one I've seen, and the rest are like sequels. So this is The Lost Boys, and I know someone in my comment section mentioned really liking this movie, and I love it so much too that I had to share it with you guys. So this one's really great. This guy, they move to another, like a new place by the beach, and it's like a beach vampire movie, which is so weird, but it's really fun. And this guy, his brother named Michael, he starts hanging out with like these kids because this like weird gang group, because he falls in love with the one girl, and her boyfriend's in that, I think her boyfriend, I don't know, is like in that group, and so he hangs out with them, but surprise surprise, they're all vampires, and he gets changed into a vampire, and it's so crazy. This also gets a bit violent at the end. I should have mentioned that. There's a lot of violence in Fright Night as well. There's a very good like physical, like actual effects, like practical effects. Those are really cool, and they just look epic, and you're just like, wow, how did they do that? And it's so fun. I would definitely recommend that, but like I said, that gore can be a little bit much for some people, so you should be aware of what's in your movies before you watch them, if that sort of thing upsets you. But it's really funny. It's really funny. Like what do you call Fright Night had a bit of a tone problem where they weren't sure if they wanted to be funny or like horrifying, and I think The Lost Boys sort of manages that better than Fright Night did. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. Anyway, so next up we have Donnie Darko, which, if I am correct, this is the thing that was on the thumbnail. This is my number one movie that I wanted to recommend because it's so good. Oh my goodness. And I think actually, if you know the game Subway Surfers, there's actually a bit of like people who think that the character Frank may have taken some inspiration from Frank the Bunny in this video, or in this movie. So Donnie Darko is like a really strange movie. It's you will not understand what's going on like a large portion of the time, and it kind of wraps itself up at the end, and you kind of get it, but you also kind of don't. And so there's this like kid, he's got this like imaginary friend named Frank, who's this weird bunny, and he shows up and he tells him to do all this horrible stuff, and he does the horrible stuff, and then there's like, I know at some point there's like a plane that crashes into his house, and things just get crazy. It's just a really crazy movie, and you'll just watch it and you'll be like, what is going on? And so for that, I would definitely recommend this. However, in terms of content that you should be aware of, there is mentions of like, how do I put this, sort of adult content involving minors and some weird cultish themes as well. If you're if you've got problems with mental illness and stuff being portrayed wrongly, you may not like this movie as much, although it isn't so much mental illness at the end, you find out as it is like supernatural, but it's, yeah, there's also some questionable scenes with like, the therapist and all that great stuff, but like I said, so I should, just to be perfectly clear, all of the movies that I picked were appropriate, I thought, for teenagers, so not little kids. Please do not show any of these movies to little kids unless you're absolutely sure that they can handle it, and even then you might want to be there with them because questionable content. But anyways, these are super good movies, and you should definitely give all of them a try. And at least I think, because these are all really good movies that made like a huge impact on me and the way that I saw like film and other fictional works of fiction and all that. And this video might be running a little long because I just really love these movies. But yeah, so these were like my top 5. So that was my top 5. I would like to know, that was my top 5 Halloween movies, not necessarily horror, although I think pretty much all of them at least sort of fall under that. But anyways, so if you would like to leave some recommendations for movies for me to watch down in the comments below, I would love to check them out. I'm always looking to see more new cool movies, or not necessarily new, but like new to me cool movies and stuff, especially of the horror variety. As you may or may not be able to tell from some of our other channels' content, my dad and I are huge fans of a lot of horror, so we would love to hear your recommendations. Please let me know what you would like me to watch or something in the comments below. Yeah, and I just really want to hear from you guys. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching. You really didn't have to, but that's so great of you that you did. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the comments below, because we have those open, and that's really cool. And we can only do that because you guys are so supportive and nice. But anyways, so thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!